You didn't hear about Gina Carano?
No.
She was in that show, The Mandalorian, the Star Wars one.
That's why I don't know.
And she it's been big news. It's been all over the place. She recently got fired from Disney because she's been making some like offhanded posts. And I think it's been like a long time coming because she's like made some like pretty insensitive like trans things in the past, and they didn't fire her for that. But I think what broke the camel's back was when she compared Republicans to Jews during the Holocaust.
Oh yeah, that was her. I heard something about somebody saying something like that. I'm like,
yeah, it's like, maybe don't say that.
No,
it's probably,
no. I mean, come on.
And everyone's like, she's canceled, and it's like, well, she works for Disney, so I
mean, Disney was the one. Disney,
they're a very squeaky clean company.
Extremely. They were the ones that made the hit TV show Scrubs. There was a character on Scrubs called the surgeon, the Todd. When Disney, which owns ABC, when ABC picked up Scrubs, the TV show, I believe in season 6, 7, and 8. 9 was weird, but 6, 7, and 8, they made the Todd, that character, stop showing his banana hammock. Just a banana hammock, you know what I mean? And this was back in the early 2000s when this happened. So Disney has always been squeaky clean, and that's why I fear the mouse. I wonder if Walt Disney was Republican. Probably not.
Oh, probably.
No.
He probably was.
Didn't he start Disneyland in California?
Yeah.
And California is known to be a Democrat state. I mean, I'm sure there's Republicans there, but I don't think Disney would. I would probably imagine that Disney was not a Republican. I don't know if that's ever been decided or if that was ever even known. It would be an interesting thing to discover if he was.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, Disney was, Disney Studios was like Burbank, right? I mean,
that's like in the heart of the Democratic Convention, damn near.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. But also, it's like the 50s. So,
yeah, that's true.
That
is very true. And he had
things were different. Maybe he was considered Democrat back then, but maybe not today. Who knows?
I don't know. It would be interesting.
What's weird? Like Disney's so squeaky clean that like literally like old photos of Walt Disney that they use in like documentaries or whatever, they like scrub out the cigarettes in his hand because he was known for being like a chain smoker. Like the dude was a chain smoker.
Really?
So like old photos that they show in like documentaries or as like, look at how great Walt Disney is, or like the anniversary of his birth or whatever. It's always like a picture of him, and his hand is just like got the peace sign up where a cigarette was, but they've like doctored out the cigarette. That's how squeaky clean Disney is.
When did Disney become so squeaky clean? You know what I mean?
I think they always have been.
Well,
right?
if it was, then Walt Disney wouldn't have posed for pictures with a cigarette in his hand. But then again, cigarettes back then were way more accepted.
Right, exactly. They've always been squeaky clean. They've always been like a children's company. It's just, society has changed over the 60, 70 years that the Disney company has existed,
Yeah.
Well, like, when they made that famous movie, which I'm sure you're aware of, Song of the South, which is now considered a very racist movie. I don't think they had like ill intent when they made that movie at the time.
No.
It's just society has changed, and now it's like, oh, that's kind of offensive,
Has
and they've completely wiped that.
Has society really changed, though?
Well,
yeah,
I'm sure there's still some people out there that suck, but I think on the whole, American society has progressed at least a little bit since then.
You would think one would think, but there are several movies, Disney movies, that are out there that a lot of people nowadays are questioning.
Yeah. Like the crows in Dumbo.
Yeah. Well, then there was that whole thing.
Well,
I don't know if Disney didn't have anything to do with Transformers, did they? No,
that's Universal.
Yeah, because I remember the Transformers, that one Transformers movie that came out. They had the little, the little 3 brown robots that spoke very broken.
That's because it was directed and written by Michael Bay, who is kind of known for
push the limits,
for being that kind of guy. He's known for like making just like crazy action movies that are slightly offensive.
Well,
but like that's like the point, I guess.
Well, Michael Bay can do that, but then how come Quentin Tarantino has every movie he has is just laced with the N-word? He loves to say the N-word. He loves to write and direct the N-word.
Yeah.
Every Quentin Tina Turner movie has the N-word all in it. And you know what? I watch it. I sit there, I watch Django. It was funny. And he always puts himself in the movie too.
Well, at least in Django, like, you know, for the time period it's supposed to be set in.
That's one of my favorite movies. You know? That is absolutely one of my.
It's a really good movie. I love Quentin Tarantino's movies, but I fucking hate that dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's annoying to see on screen. I think he's a horrible. He's not that great of an actor, but
but also like in interviews, he's creepy. He's very creepy. Like, he's also said some like very questionable things. Like I remember
he's a shock
he
jock.
Talked about Roman Polanski, right? It's like I love Rosemary's Baby, but
what have you done with his eyes? What the hell?
He's got his father's eyes.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan! Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's a really great movie.
But Roman Polanski raped a 15-year-old.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and like ran off to Europe and has been hiding in Europe for forever. He's still alive, still hiding in Europe somewhere. And Quentin Tarantino on like the Howard Stern show was like, "Oh yeah, those 15-year-old party girls, you know, they were asking for it." It's like, "Ooh. Oh no, Quentin, no.
Quentin."
And it actually opens up like this whole conversation about Hollywood, because Roman Polanski, who raped a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old back in like I don't know, like the 60s, this dude, and he's been hiding from the American government for I don't know, 40 years now. He won a fucking Oscar in 2001.
Oh, did the federal government just even maybe come up with the idea that we should go to the Oscars?
Well, he wasn't there. He wasn't at the Oscars. And he made the movie in France. Oh. It was starring Adrian Brody. It's called The Pianist. And it's a good movie.
The Pianist?
I mean, like, it's a good movie. I'm not going to deny that. He's a good director.
The Pianist? That's the name of the movie?
The Pianist.
The Pianist?
Yeah. The Pianist.
The Pianist.
But yeah, and it, you know, and then fucking Harrison Ford comes out and accepts the award for him. And Harrison Ford is like, "Roman Polanski is a good man," and like the entire audience like stands up and claps for him. And it's like, man, the hypocrisy of Hollywood is just unbelievable.
I wonder if Roman Polanski ever worked with what's that dude? Harvey Weinstein.
Well, I think he was around before, like he was like pre-Harvey.
Oh, so he was Harvey 1.0, and what we got was Harvey 2.0.
Yeah, because like when did Rosemary's Baby come out? That shit had to have come out a long time ago,
it's all in black and white, in original black and white, and there was no black people in it, so I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
1968.
Oh, dude, I was 14 years old.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Good job.
I was 4, but yeah, I
Nailed
did
it.
not hear about the.
That's 10 years before Star Wars. Think about that.
My gosh, he could have made Star Wars.
He could have made Star Wars, and also very interesting as well. If you didn't know this, Charles Manson, you know, his clan, you know, they went to the Hollywood Hills and famously killed Sharon Tate. that was Roman Polanski's wife. So that's weird. And also Quentin Tarantino, his last movie was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is about it's about the Manson murders.
I've never seen that movie.
It's pretty okay. It's good.
Pretty okay. It's a big old bucket of okay.
Yeah, I think as far as like Quentin Tarantino movies go, it's okay. Brad Pitt and Leo like really fucking kill it. I'm able to separate the art from the artist. I hate Quentin Tarantino, but most of his movies are pretty good.
I love it. I love a lot of his movies. Leo DiCaprio is in it.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt.
Ruined it. Leo, yes, Leo's my man crush. I leave my wife and kids for
really.
Leo.
I feel the opposite. I really like Brad Pitt and don't like Leo.
Oh no, I let Leo Austin my butt.
I think Brad Pitt is often underlooked as an actor, because I actually think he's a really good actor, but like people just remember him as like the early 2000 tabloid guy. You know, he's like the sexiest man alive. Like people often remember him for that, but they always forget like how good Brad Pitt is as an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, like shit, man. He's in this movie called Fury. Oh God, it's so good. It's so good. It's like a tank movie. It's so good. Ad Astra. It's a fantastic film, dude. He's a really good actor. Even the Ocean's movies.
Ocean's 11,
like
12,
Ocean's
13, 14, and 15?
Yeah, all of
I want to know where they're finding all these. Where are they finding all these oceans?
I know. I thought there was only like 2 big oceans.
I thought there's okay, 7. But yeah, okay, maybe not.
But
even
the
7.
2 big ones.
Well, I mean, you got the Atlantic Ocean, you got the Pacific Ocean, you got Billy Ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some main oceans.
Yeah, those. Yeah, for sure. That's quite the intro, huh?
5, 6, 7, 8.
What is up, boyos? Welcome to the Jake and Cory podcast. I am Jake. That is Cory. What is up, Cory?
What is up, Jake?
Not much. Have you seen the trailer for this new Cruella de Vil?
No, Jake, I have not. You ass.
It's starring Emma Stone. How weird is that? When you think of Cruella de Vil, now, what age do you imagine Cruella de Vil?
I would put Cruella. See, she hates fluffy puppies, so I would put Cruella de Vil in the age bracket of a divorced 53-year-old bittered, dry snatch, saggy boobed woman.
I always pictured her as like a 70, 80-year-old woman.
No, because see, when women get to be 70 or 80 years old, they don't give a shit about nothing. They don't care about doggies. She's got to be in that age bracket of right before she's about to fall off the don't care wagon, which is about that between 50 and 60 years old. When you get
what about Joe Biden?
When you get a 50
that dude's 80, he's the president.
I know, but he's not human. When you get a 50 and he's not a woman. When you get 50 to 60-year-old women, they're angry about everything because they realize in their brain they're no longer in their 40s and everything on the other side of 60 is going to be dry and saggy. Cruella
these views do not reflect mine. Okay, let me just make this clear.
Cruella de Vil is a 53-year-old divorced, dried, snatched, saggy boobed woman, and that's what I see. She's not married. Her husband left her for another dude, and he took her dogs. That's why she's so angry.
No, she doesn't want dogs to have dogs as pets. She wants to skin them and turn them into fur coats. That's her whole thing.
Because her closeted husband that she used to be married to.
You see her though, and she's all wrinkly and like
that's what an angry 53-year-old divorced, dried, snatched, saggy boobed woman looks like. They are 53, but they look 73. I'm telling you. I know this for a fact. Trust me. Go with me on this. I'm a 5-head when it comes to Cruella.
Well, it's just weird. The new Cruella movie is starring Emma Stone, who is probably like between 32 and 35. So it's like an origin story, right? And everyone's saying it's like, this is like Disney's Joker.
Oh, so they're giving us they're giving us the prelude to Cruella. What made her so angry back in her 30s when she was having good sex and then found out that her husband that she married was gay?
I'm sure Cruella had some amazing sex. You know, I always imagined, like Cruella probably was never married.
No, I think, dude, there is no way Cruella de Vil could be that angry without losing some dick. If she hadn't lost some dick, she wouldn't be that angry.
To me, Cruella was always like a corporate shill. Like, she was just obsessed with corporatism and like wanted to sell her fur coats and like wanted to make $1 million. And she was more obsessed with possessions than human connection. Right?
Exactly, and, like, because she was burned by her ex-husband after he ran off with another dude. Then she said that her only life value.
You're creating your own story.
Her
here.
only life value is in objects of fur. That gave her validity to her existence, but angered her deep in her heart. Man, I know this. Trust me. Follow me. I'm the greatest at this.
Yeah. So, like, the interesting thing, Maleficent.
Hey.
Cruella is getting a lot of backlash right now, but the movie's not out, so we don't know. But everyone's saying, like, how do you make a movie about Cruella de Vil and, like, make it so we actually, like, sympathize with her? Because, like, the last movie that Disney made that was, like, a live-action representation of one of the villains, it was about Maleficent. And they sort of humanized Maleficent, which you can do. It's like she's a witch and she's like figuring out her powers and, you know, and then she turns evil or whatever. But like, how do you humanize Cruella, a person who literally skins dogs for fur coats?
It's gonna be hard with the PETAs, yeah. But I think the way that they can humanize her is
she has a husband that burns her.
I'm telling you, dude, she has a husband that leaves her. That's the only way that someone can be that angry. That a 53-year-old woman can be that angry is that she lost that pumping stick. When she lost that pumping stick that was giving it to her good and making her toes curl, that's what makes her angry. You take a good pumping stick away from any woman, bruh, I guarantee you she's going to turn bitter and angry and start trying to skin your dogs to make fur.
Cruella, at the very least, struck, as horrible as she is, she always struck me as an independent woman who didn't need no man.
No,
okay?
She wasn't always that way. She was codependent. She was loving. She was caring. And when she was, her man returned the love and care with some good sex.
Are you on the writing staff? You work for Disney.
I'm telling you, dude, it was some good sex. And then when the good sex was gone, when the orgasmic explosions were taken away, and when he left, he took her dog. That's where it all started, man. There's no way you can have a Cruella de Vil that without her loot. You want to fix Cruella? If you want to fix, listen to me, Jake. I'm telling you, I know this. You want to fix Cruella and her anger issues and her love for fur? She needs some good dick, bruh. You dick her down real good. I'm telling you, Cruella will be right back to where she need to be.
The way they're making it look in this movie is like Cruella is like an anarchist, like London punk is the way that they're like making her seem. Which is like,
Did cool, Cruella have an English accent in the original movie?
Yeah, that movie's super English.
Oh, so she just didn't lose some thrusting stick. She lost some uncut thrusting stick. There's a whole lot of uncut thrusting stick over there overseas.
As I believe they all should be. Come on now, let's stop mutilating children.
Yeah, I know.
It's fucked up. I'm mutilated.
I'm mutilated. Well, I didn't have any decision.
Well, that's out there for the world now.
Thank you. Yeah. We both revealed that Our
Exposed.
thrusting sticks are mutilated. Can
Yeah,
we
we've
now
got
forever
mutilated
refer to them as thrusting sticks?
The thrusting sticks. I like to call mine the stick shift. But,
The more you move it, the faster you go.
That's true. It's all everything you're saying is true. Did you, I'm sure you know about this. Moving on from Cruella and movie news. Have you been keeping up with the Dallas stuff?
I have. It's a bit confusing for me with Dallas. Now, number one, I have friends and family in Dallas, and it's a little perplexing to me because of I could almost see both sides, and I kind of focus more a little bit on the deregulation and regulation aspect of their energy providers out there. And I can understand where the deregulators don't want big government into their business, but then that leaves them vulnerable to this type of situation. And then the ones that are regulated, people pay more because they have to, those energy companies have to provide additional funding to the federal government. I can almost see it on both sides. I've also heard the aspect of it being a economic divide, meaning some of the more affluential areas of Texas that are being affected by this weather still have electricity, while some of the lower income areas are left without electricity. And then the whole Ted Cruz thing was just Ted being Ted, and so I mean I've heard a little bit about the whole thing that's been going on. It's sad, it's horrible, but dude, Mother Nature is mad right now. That's what it really comes down
crazy.
to, is Mother Nature is fucking pissed off. Arizona's having one of the warmest fucking winters we've ever had in history. Last year was the hottest year we've ever had. We broke so many freaking records. We're in a fucking desert, and we haven't had a measurable rain in what seems to be months at this time. We've been in an extreme drought. I just think Mother Nature is just pissed the fuck off. This is Texas. And the number one thing that all this is affecting is my ability to watch my streamers, my favorite streamers, because most of them are in Texas.
Yeah, a lot of them, yeah.
XQC was streaming earlier last week, and right as he was rounding the corner when he was fucking up his life in Grand Theft Auto 57, stream offline. He had lost power.
Yeah. Greek God X.
Haven't watched much of him because his ADD has really been getting on my nerves. Love him. But that's what I've heard about Texas.
Here's my thoughts. I don't see both sides. I always try to see both sides. But the thing is, and I'm not going to give exact numbers because I don't have them on me, but I saw there have been polls done, and high numbers of Americans want to be on a national grid, like 80%, including Texas. Okay, they like the national grid because the national grid works. First of all, the fact that Texas doesn't want to be on a national grid is just them saying fuck you. First of all, so there's that. The people don't want it, so fuck what your senators and your governors want. What about the people? What do they want? And they want to be on the national grid. And yeah, you have to pay like a little bit more in the premiums, but I look at it a lot like health insurance. Yeah, where like you pay a little extra up front for when something like this happens. That's why you do it. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's also the aspect of this motherfucker Tucker Carlson coming on his news radio show and blaming this shit on wind turbines, which is ridiculous. It's like, yeah, the wind turbines froze, but so did all the instruments at the coal and oil plants They all froze. It's not just the wind turbines.
That's because those things that were freezing are in deregulated parts of Texas that don't have the federal regulations that require winterization.
Right, because like places like Wisconsin, which is one of the coldest fucking states in America, have wind turbines that can handle this sort of weather. It just isn't like that in Texas because it's Texas.
Well, also Wisconsin is also
you wear your fucking wear your fucking cowboy hat. You're outside. You wear your shorts or whatever.
The federal regulations require what they call winterizing. Arizona has it.
Yeah.
APS and SRP here. They have winterizing, and we also have, it's not called summerizing, but I'm just going to call it summerizing, because here in Arizona, we have the same exact thing. The pumps and shit like that. We've seen our pumps fail in this state before when our freeway I-10 flooded. That was a failure of old, 50, 75-year-old infrastructure. However, we still have federal regulations regarding our electricity, regarding our water, that the feds say you have to do this so our pipes don't freeze.
Well, we're on the West Coast grid.
Yeah, our pipes don't explode. Our electricity grids are able to withstand not cold temperatures like Texas, but high temperatures like hell. That's where we have our grid has to be regulated. So these ones that are the wind turbines freezing and the pipes freezing and the grids not being able to, and the grids freezing and the water situation, my God in heaven, though, fucking hell, we can't even get Flint, Michigan back online. And now Texas, that's just all about the fact that some, I hate to say it, but some federal regulations are actually beneficial to infrastructures if applied and followed, even though it may cost you a couple extra bucks.
Yeah, I'm a fan of regulation when done properly.
Done properly, there are some regulations, federal regulations that are out there that are just shit. But when it comes to electricity and water, you need to have some fucking regulations behind that.
Yeah, building infrastructure, like there should be regulations on these things. There should be regulation on the FDA, like that's why the FDA exists. Like regulations on the whole are usually pretty good things. They can be taken
these
out of,
parts of
too far,
these parts of Texas that are really suffering bad, they're located in deregulated areas. Yeah.
Correct, because the way America works is we have a giant West Coast grid and we have a giant East Coast grid, and then right in the middle, Texas has their own fucking grid, which even parts of Texas, like the sides of Texas, part of it's on the East Coast grid and part of it's on the West Coast grid. And Texas is just like, no, we're going to have our own thing, because basically Texas is like, well, one day we could secede, we could become our own thing, which is fucked. But possible. But like the people there don't want that. The people there want to be part of the grid. The people want there to be safety. There's that fucking mayor that came out and said some horrible shit like, we don't owe you anything. You should be able to survive without electricity. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Crazy mayor. But like,
yeah, I think that'd be something that our governor would probably end up saying if we ever had to deal with some disaster like that.
Well, it wasn't the governor. It was the mayor, and he stepped down really quickly. But yeah, it's just insane. And it's not like this is some fluke thing. It is sort of a fluke thing that it got that cold, but it's not the first time we've seen this happen.
Yeah, we get these,
on this scale.
We get these polar vortex all the time.
This literally happened in Texas in 2011 on a much smaller scale. But this literally, the same exact thing happened in 2011, where their infrastructure wasn't ready for it. And after it happened, everyone's like, hey, you need to winterize your stuff. And the leaders there said, no, we're not going to. It's cost too much money. And they didn't do it. And look at what's happening now. This is what happens. Later. This is poor leadership.
Almost 10 years later, they
yeah.
Actually, it is 10 years later. I just looked at my clock and I realized that the day we're recording this.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
The year is 2020, not 20. 10 years later, and they still have. I don't understand why people would still live in the place that they live if they don't think that the people are. I mean, hell, I'm even questioning moving out of the state of Arizona because of the fact that this state is revealing itself to be more politically driven in the opposite direction of my morals and belief. You know what I mean? Why would people stay in Texas knowing that 10 years ago you had this problem and nothing was done then, and you knew the big one was coming again? You know, it's almost like if Northern California people that live on the San Andreas Fault, if that government didn't do anything to support the science behind people trying to just, you know, determine what these faults are going to do, and then the fault hits and it's the big one and nothing is done. I mean, even when California has a little small earthquake, there's still policies and politicians that are supporting continued efforts to try to correct it and try to prepare for a big one.
I think the reason people stay is because I think most people don't fucking think about this stuff, nor should they have to. This is why we elect people to take care of us, you know, to deal with these things. Because fuck, man, I didn't know about the grids and shit until all this happened. I don't think about that stuff. Like, I don't think about where my power comes from. I pay my bills.
You're not a
vote for
you're not a homeowner. That's probably why,
dude. But I live.
I'm a homeowner, dude. I know all of that stuff. I know all the flood lines and shit like that. But I'll say this: I didn't learn all that until I became a homeowner.
Sure, but like, I live in a city, in a place that requires power. We're using power right now to speak to each other.
Oh,
you know, most people don't think about this shit.
I have a little rat under my desk running in a wheel, and that's what's generating my power.
Well, I do too now. Yeah. I actually hired a person to actually run on a treadmill to get me power now. Here's the statement from that mayor, Tim Boyd, who is the mayor of Colorado City. So it says, Mayor of Colorado City, Texas resigns after posting this controversial Facebook post. Here it is. This quote from Tim Boyd. Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute. No one owes you are your family anything. Yes, it does say you are your family anything.
No.
I love it. These guys can't write. Nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this! Exclamation point. Sink or swim. It's your choice! Exclamation point. The city and county, along with power providers or any other service, owes you nothing! Exclamation point. I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout! Exclamation point. If you don't have electricity, you step up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, you'll deal without and think outside of the box to survive and supply water to your family.
Wow.
If you are sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue you because you're lazy is direct result of your raising! Exclamation point. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish. Folks, God has given us the tools to support ourselves in times like this. This is sadly a product of socialist government, where they feed people to believe that the few will work and others will become dependent for handouts. Am I sorry that you have been dealing without electricity and water? Yes. But I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need and those that take advantage of the system and mesh them into one group. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family. That is the most batshit insane thing I've ever read in my entire life. We don't owe you handout. Dude, bruh, of course you owe us handouts. We are the reason you're in office. What do we pay? We pay you a salary to just sit there? That's our thing. We pay taxes just so you fucking sit there? Why do we pay our electricity bill? To pay for the electric? What am I supposed to have logs in my fucking bathroom? So if my power goes out, I can make a fire? What the fuck is this guy talking about? It's the most batch. If the water goes out, dude, this is why I pay a water bill. This is why I pay water taxes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, guy? The fuck?
That dude was so off the rails. What the hell? Now, I do agree with
shit.
I can almost see his point in one aspect where I'm sure that there are a segment of people that do abuse the systems.
How?
There are some people that can abuse that abuse the system. That, like, we have them here. We have people that are sitting here that are just sucking the teat of government financial support, and knowing damn well that if they just weren't lazy and they got up and actually found a job or weren't a convicted felon, they wouldn't have to suck the teat of the financial coffers.
Come on, that's not what this guy is talking about.
He's mentioning some of the people that are maybe abusing the system.
Bruh, this guy literally said, if your power if you have no water, you gotta live without. You gotta figure it out on your own, man.
Well, they are.
It's like, what the fuck
it's a Republican state, bro. What do you expect?
I expect better.
Yeah,
that's what I expect.
I would too. I would say that if nothing else, 2020 and the pandemic has definitely proven to us that we are when things go wrong, we are really all on our own.
Well, what it's really exposed to me is that Republicans don't know how to handle disaster.
No.
They don't. They have no fucking clue, and they have no empathy, and they only think about themselves. Ted Cruz is a great example of this. Yeah. A lot of people are talking about the Ted Cruz thing. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably already know, but like Ted Cruz went on a fucking flight to Cancun when this happened. Ultimately ended up blaming it on his kids. Because his kids wanted to go on a trip to Cancun. And a lot of people are defending him by saying like, well, he's a federal, elected official. He goes to the Capitol. That's what he does. He makes some votes. And it's like, well, that's not the point though. He is a representative of Texas. That is his thing. He is a representative of Texas. And a great example of how he could have handled it was Beto O'Rourke, who currently, as far as I'm aware, has no position in government. He ran for president. He lost. I think he ran for Senate and he lost. So Beto O'Rourke is, I think, just a civilian right now. And right when this happened, Beto O'Rourke was making phone calls, asking if people need help, directing them on where to go if their power was out and they need somewhere to find shelter. He was helping people. He started raising money for people. Like immediately he was on it. And that's what Ted Cruz should have been doing as well. He's a representative of that state. Yeah. That's what he should be doing.
That's what
elect him.
All of the political figures, if he doesn't have direct control over what was happening, he has direct influence on how to correct what's happening.
Exactly. He has like 3 million followers on Twitter.
Well, you know what?
Just the awareness alone.
The fact that this happened in 2011, there's not going to be much that's going to happen after all of this is over. If you play the history card, after all this is over, what's going to change? Nothing, because nothing changed when this happened 10 years ago on a lighter scale. They didn't change anything then. You think anything is going to change after this?
I do, and let me tell you why. I think what's going to change is the voting power in Texas, because if you look at the last election, Texas went 48% blue, 52% red. That's pretty fucking close because it's fucking Texas.
Yeah,
when you think of Texas, you're like, that's fucking Texas. They're the Wild West. They're Republicans. That's what they do. But like, dude, after Trump and after this and Ted Cruz looking like a goddamn idiot, where Beto O'Rourke, who I don't even fucking like Beto O'Rourke, but like he looks like a goddamn saint in comparison to Ted Cruz, dude, people are going to start thinking about who they're voting for more. That's what's going to happen. I really do think that.
According to a tweet that I just saw from Rex Chapman, he says AOC and Beto did more for Texas in a week than Ted Cruz has done for Texas his entire life.
True.
Pass this on.
Yeah, because AOC, who's not even she's literally in New York, started doing fundraisers and stuff.
She did.
Yeah, it's It's absolutely insane. And then fucking once again, Tucker Carlson. Why is this man on the air? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so fucking frustrated. Like, why is this guy still on the air? Fox News needs to fucking fire this guy. He's horrible. Everything he reports is
never gonna happen.
He's a goddamn liar. Like, he's so.
It's not gonna happen.
It's so frustrating. But like Ted Cruz goes on there and he starts talking about journalists who are, writing about Texas right now. They're writing about the blackouts and they're like, yeah, they're all just sitting in their New York apartments while everyone's freezing in Texas. And it's like, bruh, that's their job, is to report on.
Yeah.
They're journalists. Yeah. The whole reason they exist is so they can spotlight problems. Like, that's their job. They're doing their job. What's Ted Cruz doing? And you're over there defending him. It's absolutely insane.
I mean, they still have people that are...
It just blows...
Dude, this is freaking... I don't want to say what everybody else is saying, but it's fucked up from the floor up. It's really hard to find any type of silver lining, but dude, Ted Cruz isn't going to go anywhere. Tucker Carlson isn't going to go anywhere. I don't see how these people still are around and how these people... Tucker Carlson's been spewing rhetoric for years and nothing's ever happened to him because he pulls in sponsor dollars at the end of the day. People watch him just to get pissed off, and while they're watching him, they're seeing sponsor ads. It comes down to the almighty dollar at the end of the day, man. Nothing's going to happen until he rapes a 14-year-old and makes a movie.
So here's what this is what I find absolutely hilarious. Here's what he said. He said, with school canceled for the week, our girls asked to take a trip with friends. Wanting to be a good dad, I flew down with them last night and am flying back this afternoon. My staff and I are in constant communication with the state and local leaders to get to the bottom of what happened in Texas. It was obviously a mistake, and in hindsight, I wouldn't have done it. I understand why people are upset, he says. Leaving when so many Texans were hurting didn't feel right, and so I changed my return flight and flew back on the first available flight.
He's such a nad. I mean, come on.
And he doubled down on this. Like he's just like, yeah, my daughters wanted, like he's blaming. What a shit weasel, dude. Yeah. Blaming your kids? Take some responsibility and resign, you piece of shit.
Never gonna happen, dude. And I guarantee you, I know. In 4 years that fucker's gonna run for president again.
Yeah, he won't win.
I guarantee you that. I mean, this is all you're talking about. The guy that was still challenging the presidential certification vote after his life was put in danger. I mean, come on. Do we put anything past this dude at this cat at this time? He's fucking broken. He's broken, dude.
Yeah.
And there's just a whole lot of broken fucking people that are now just, after the orange one stirred up the pot, all the broken pieces have come to the surface. We're seeing a whole lot of broken shit. Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah, we should clean the glass.
What we need to do is we need to take one of those pool skimmers with the little net and long pole. We need to just start skimming this shit off the surface and dumping it in the trash. Here's the thing. Trash belongs in the trash can, not on your kitchen table.
Yeah, man. It's insane.
It's absolutely insane, but I feel bad for the people that are in Texas. Anybody in Texas that is hearing this.
Absolutely.
Our thoughts and prayers are out with you. You guys do the best you can. I did find on Amanda Seales' Instagram, and Amanda Seales is a comedian, and I absolutely love her. I have a horrible, stupid crush on her. She actually posted...
I have no idea who this person is.
You don't know who Amanda Seales is?
No idea.
Let
me look into this.
Is it because she's black?
What? No.
I'm trying to...
Just don't know who she is.
If you look her up, I'm sure you've seen her before.
Amanda Ingrid Seales, formerly known as stage name Amanda Diva, is an American entertainer. Aside from her solo career, she was also a touring member of the musical group Flowtree. Since 2017, she has starred in the HBO comedy series Insecure. No, I have no idea.
You have no idea who she is.
No, I'm looking at pictures of her.
Man, she had this she shared this really cool post on some tips on what people should do, what people can do. And now that I'm scrolling through her Instagram, I don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, people. Yeah, if you're in Texas, you're probably not listening to this because, you should probably use your power for something a little bit more important than
No,
this.
they should listen.
But
they should be listening.
Well, that's true. If you are listening, press the subscribe button for sure. But
Jeez, Jake, you can't just whore all in on it.
But yeah, I've seen just some like horrible shit, like where people are burning stuff in their house to stay warm, and a lot of treated wood is toxic, and then like people sitting in their cars in their garage getting toxicity poisoning, just some like really horrible shit.
Yeah. Open up the garage, peoples.
Yeah, but I understand why you wouldn't, because it's fucking cold. It's terrifying stuff, man. And this is right after last week where we were talking about that 100-car pileup. And funny enough, we were blaming the fucking city for that too.
This is look.
Lack of care.
If we haven't learned anything in the last 14 months, is that a very large portion of our elected officials don't honestly give a rat's fucking tail about the people that elected them. They don't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they care about the people that are writing checks to their campaign. They care about the people that are supporting them financially. Those are the people with the voices. They've proven to us without a shadow of a doubt they don't care. And what are we going to do? We're going to deal with it. We're going to roll over and fucking let them do what they got to do. I've been saying it for my entire fucking life. There are more of us than there are of them. If we just realize that, shit would start to change. They would be forced to deal with us. There are more of us than there are of them.
Yeah, what do you want to do, though? You want to fucking storm the Capitol again, or
no?
What?
I'm not talking about storming the Capitol. I'm talking about calling them up and being vocal and holding them responsible and not allowing them to do this. And when the people that are writing checks to them, those organizations that are writing checks to them and supporting them, we stop supporting those organizations with our dollars. That's the way that you do it. You got to follow the fucking money in these political situations, because that's the only time things get done. Things don't get done by you writing letters and sending emails, posting messages on Facebook and tweeting and Instagramming. That their interns read that shit. They don't. But when you find out that, General Mills is writing checks to a political a politician that you think is doing your city wrong, you stop buying General Mills products. And you tell your friends and family to stop buying General Mills products. And when General Mills starts to see that their fucking profit margins are slipping, guess what? They don't have money to write checks to those politicians anymore. And therefore, the politician starts to lose power. When you find that there's a company that is supporting a politician that you feel will do right, you start supporting that organization. You move your dollars. We have more dollars than they do. They've just conditioned our minds to believe that we don't, and they do. Right. That's the only thing that separates us, is that we're told we're not as powerful as they are. We're told that the 1%ers make all the decisions. 1% to 99% of us? Come on.
Yeah, that 1% has a shit ton of money, though.
They have a shit ton of money, but their shit ton of money put all together does not equal the total amount of money of the 99% of the rest of us.
Hard to say, isn't it? I don't know.
I guarantee you, bro. You can't even.
I don't know.
1 to 99 odds, Jake. 1 to 99. Are you systematically brainwashed too? 1 to 99.
How am I systematically brainwashed?
Because you're believing that the one percenters have it all. They don't. They just make you think that they have it all. If we were to come together, we would have way more power than they do. But we're so fucking divided because we allow them to divide us that we can't even see our own fucking individual worth when with our powers combined.
I agree. I agree. Calm down. It's okay.
Don't tell me to calm down. You calm down.
You calm down. What I'm saying is, like, currently, I don't know, like, if we were to add up everyone's net worth that wasn't a billionaire with every billionaire's net worth, I don't know which one would be higher. And that's what's fucked up, dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's simple. That's truth,
that's simple fucking math, Jake.
Go ahead and do the math then. Tell me, what are the numbers?
You're going to take 1% of people
yes.
and weigh that 1% of a large number up against 99% of a smaller number?
Because listen,
did you just drive by the high school? You drive by the high school or did you stop?
No, listen. If you take, let me do this like, but 99% of 32%, you take 45% of the 15% of the top 1%.
Nice mittens, Bernie. Nice mittens.
But seriously, like, I don't know. I'd have to. There's no way to really do the math, I guess. But like,
dude, you get 50% of. Take 70
of the top 1%.
You take the 75% of the middle class people that make less than $750,000 a year. You put them all together, you got more than $400 trillion. You put all the wealthy people together. But this is the
corruption, though, Cory, is that 99% of the people, right? Most of these motherfuckers are not even making $100,000 a year, where Jeff Bezos alone is making like $400 billion a year. You know what I mean? Right. Like, that's an ungodly amount of money. But you're talking about
the 99% of us that are 99% of the drivers behind the economy, bruh. Let me put it to you this way, Jake.
I get what you're saying. Like, he wouldn't have that money. But the thing is that he already has the money.
Listen, if the 1%ers were as in control as much as they say that they are, we would not be experiencing an economical collapse. When people that are in the lower 99% lost money, we had an economical collapse, Jake. That's all the proof you need, baby. That's all the proof
we had an economical. No. Listen, we had an economical collapse.
The country did.
Listen, hold on. Let me finish. We had an economical collapse. Fucking Bill Gates over the coronavirus has made $30 billion to his net worth. He's added $30 billion extra. We had an economical collapse, not them. That's the difference.
Well, you know what, Jake? You keep letting the 1%ers make all the decisions for you then. And when you move to Texas,
I'm saying that's corrupt. I'm saying that's fucked. That's the fucked thing, is that they're 1% and we're 99%.
Nice mittens. Nice mittens.
And they have a lot of the fucking most of the money. That's the corruption, Cory. I didn't fail high school. I failed college.
The fact that you think that 1% is greater than 99% is where I think that you drove by the fucking high school, or you were just really stoned out of your mind behind.
Well, I'm going to be honest here, Cory. The fact that you can't understand that 1% of the people have most of the money is where it's fucked up.
They're telling you
that's the fucked up thing.
They're telling you
they do have most of the money.
Telling you
we have most of the power because we're a large conglomerate of people. But they do have most.
Well, then why didn't
that's okay? That's what's fucked
up
about this.
You know what, Jake? You're right. I'm wrong. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong. Is that what you want to hear?
True. Yeah.
God, I'm glad my contract expires next week. Fuck that.
Oh, real quickly, before we talk about that, I did want to mention one piece of good news that happened over. Maybe you could consider this good news.
I'll be the decider of that.
Depending on who you're asking, Rush Limbaugh died. Yeah, that guy's a real piece of shit. Huh?
They say, my grandmother has always said, don't speak ill of the dead. We're not losing anything.
Yeah, I will speak ill of the dead because that's what he made his career on. Back in the 80s and 90s, he had a segment about gay people who died of AIDS.
Yep.
And he would laugh about it with his homies. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, he made a fucking joke about it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Rush Limbaugh.
Well, you know what? That's what
no one deserves to suffer. That's for sure. It sucks that he suffered.
Turnabout is fair play in the eyes of some people, but all we can say, Jake, is that we hope he knew Jesus.
Yeah.
Odds are
it was funny though. Trump hasn't spoken since he left office until Rush Limbaugh died, and now he's making all sorts of news appearances being like, Rush Limbaugh is a beautiful man. Me and Rush used to play golf.
Because he gave him the highest honor you can get as an American.
Absolutely insane.
Isn't that great?
Absolutely
come
insane.
on, people. We didn't see the writing on
insane.
Freaking writing on the wall from the beginning, so it is what it is. And, we'll see Trump again in 4 years when he runs for office again.
So let's talk about that contract, Cory. Are we going to re-up that contract?
No, I'm done. I'm out of here. I can't stand this anymore. You refuse every ounce of weird, passionless love that I offer you. Why would I want to continue?
You said weird, not me.
Yeah.
That was all you.
Yeah.
You said
because
weird.
You have classified it as weird.
No,
stop. I don't want to die. Yeah, leave me alone. That's weird. I feel funny.
So last week you made a shout out to Austin.
Yeah, I did.
Did he ever reach out?
I received a message from Austin on the court of this, and I believe that, and it was exactly what I said verbatim. Cory, lover of my soul, keeper of my heart, pumper of my ass. I think that you baited him and sent him a link to the show and told him that he needed to do this. And so I'm calling butt fucking shenanigans on you, Jake Woods, that you manipulated this. You trumped this. You Donald Trump this, and you incited Austin to storm my Capitol.
I didn't even mention it to him. I really didn't.
You incited. Austin? I think it's a coup. I think you and Austin have worked up a coup to keep me coming on this show suffering. It's a suffrage for me to be on this show with Jake. It's a suffrage. It's like dangling a carrot in front of the big mouth horse. All pun intended.
I'm a big mouth horse?
No, you're the carrot.
Oh, I'm the carrot. I am wearing an orange shirt today.
You're the big transparent carrot.
Honestly, I did not bait him at all. I did not tell him to listen to the show. I didn't even mention the show because I don't talk about this show. Why would I?
Did you post a link up in the Discord group from the New Year's Eve party that was a link to our last episode? What was that link to?
No. That was a link to, this is a great opportunity here, Cory. That was a link to my chick flick show. Make sure you go and check out my chick flick show.
You are not going to put a fucking plug in the middle of my contract review conversation. You horse's ass. Who the fuck you think you are? Hey, Ted Cruz? What are you doing over there? That was the inappropriate time to do that, Ted. What are you blaming it on? Your co-host of your chick flick review movie? No. Your sister wives? Which one of your sister wives do that show with you?
Sister wives? Come on now. Don't make it weird. It's just my sister, man.
There you go. Making it weird again. See, everything I do is weird with Jake. So why would I want to stick around for another 53 weeks?
All right. Well, this has been the final episode.
This isn't show 53. I have one more, right?
No, this is show 53.
This is 53? I'm out this bitch!
This is it. This has been the final show. We had a good run. That's a full year. Thanks for joining us.
and I will go back to say that at the beginning of this, I didn't think Jake would last 20 episodes.
That's true. You kept saying that shit, and you kept saying I'm lazy and don't do anything, even though I've been running this whole fucking channel. It hurts. He still says it to this day. A full year in, and he's like, "Oh, Jake, you don't actually care. You don't actually like me." It's like, come on.
Austin's message on Discord, a direct private message, read, "Cory, the lover of my soul, keeper of my heart, will you please do the world a justice and sign on for 53 more episodes of the Jake and Cory podcast?" And that was sent Wednesday, 2 days after the show posted.
I really did not bait him.
I think it's a coup. I think it's a fucking coup.
He told me he listens to the show every Tuesday at work.
I think you and him cooed together. You incited Austin to reach out to me. Austin stormed my Capitol once again, and it was a great storming. I mean, he had batons and mace.
I'm sure he's listening. Hey, Austin, come on, you got my back, bro. Tell him.
No, because you and Austin were friends before I was I was brought into the equation, and I think it's a coup.
Dude, trust me. Austin likes you a hell of a lot more than he likes me. That's for sure.
Just because we're banging has nothing to do with it, Jake.
He likes you more than me.
He does not. He does not.
Tell him, Austin. Tell him.
What's happening? Think about. You don't have to answer this question. Just think about it. What's happening tonight that I don't have anything to do with? A coup! It's a coup! I'm not going to be there tonight. I wasn't invited. It's a coup!
We're playing a 4-player game. What do you want from me?
It's a coup. Why not make it 5? Oh, because it's a coup.
Well, because it's Gloomhaven, and Gloomhaven is 4 people.
It could be 5, Jake. It could be.
No, Gloomhaven.
Was I even invited to watch? No.
It's a board game. You can't watch.
Well, you know what, Jake? We're just going to have to leave it as this. I have it here in my hand. I have my contract in my hand. And people just have to listen next week to see if you hear the fat guy on it. If you hear welcome to the Jake and Sapon show, you know what happened.
It's going to be the Jake and Austin show.
There you go. You know? Take it in.
Yeah.
And Austin also put in his application to work on Fat Guy Radio Show as well. Nevertheless, this has a coup. It's a coup written all over it, Jake. It's a coup.
Well, this has been the final episode due to a coup. The insurrection did happen on this podcast. I hear it was big. It was massive. People are saying they've never seen anything quite like it.
It was successful, and Jake incited the whole thing, and I think Jake should be held responsible for inciting this coup to make me sign another 53 episode contract, and I don't know, folks. You'll just have to tune in next week to see if it's the Jake and Cory show or the Jake and his left nut show.
Yeah, make sure you check out the other shows 5, 6, 7, 8.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we just end it. That's it. That's the show. That's it, baby.
That's it. That's all.
That's all of it. That was a good one.